Hi there, and thanks for tuning in again to listen to the audio version of the blog Off Grid and Ignorant in Portugal. It's been another one of those crazy couple of weeks. The heat is rising here in the valley, and this week's dispatch is called Juggling Spinning Plates, starting out in the wine tasting business. So when do you open is a common question, as everything on our hillside starts to look a little more finished. Last Saturday is my current response, because that was the original plan. Great friends from our Bangkok days and their friends had booked last year to come and stay when the finish date on the building contract was optimistically set for the end of February. Yes, this February was my common response, often to the builders, while we prepared for a group of 28 people, half of them children. But we felt that even if it slipped a month or two, we'd be all set by May. It was a very generous offer to help us with a soft opening, to give us the practical experience of running a retreat for a large group with varying demands, safe in the knowledge they're friends and would understand and give great feedback. As the year began and the combination of heavy rain delaying the construction and the growing realization that we are not superhuman led us to suggest they book the larger and more established Penomont Hotel nearby. We are so pleased they did. Not only are things not finished, but we quickly realised just how many different ways we could have killed their children. Their slimmed down, early arrival group of 20 came over to see us for a tour, a wine tasting and a sardine supper. The ratio was the same, 10 adults to 10 children. Obviously, diggers make great climbing frames. Rock dust is perfect for sandcastles, and don't go too close to the precipice by the pool translates into child as we must go over there. The electricity is now connected to all the buildings, and the spaghetti water system is working, including to the toilets and showers. But the sinks aren't quite there yet to help the water to its final destination. All but one of the outside doors and windows are now in, the interior doors are ready to hang, and the metal safety railings for the mezzanines will go in this week. Oh, they could of course plunged off those precipices as well. The wine tasting went well, the sardines feast was saved by our friend Adam Cooper's quick intervention, and we ended the day having learned a lot of lessons about hospitality and health and safety. Our wonderful daughter Oda has been staying with us, en route to managing the emerging American indie rock artist Taylor Saxon for her first UK tour. Check out the dates online. If you're local, drop in, show some support to Oda and to Taylor, and she has got an amazing voice. All the links for tickets and venues are on the website. Go on there, as ever, to look at the pictures and see more about what we're doing. Oda knew it was going to be a busy time in the Valley of the Stars, but none of us anticipated just how manic the last couple of weeks were going to be. It was a proper case of spinning plates while juggling, or a combination of the two. She arrived in the middle of our filling the pool water crisis, which I told you about last time, a task made much more difficult by a broken borehole. After trying everything he could, the ever-impressive Cristiano and his brother Eduardo set about hauling the pump 120 metres out of the ground, only to discover it needed to be replaced, along with its cable, its pipe and some more rope. It was another unexpected cost, which merely contributes to my active avoidance of checking the accounts to see if we actually have enough money left to finish our project. My former BBC colleague and audio genius friend Pete Emerson helped us through the first 2 weeks of the podcast launch. Episode 2 went live yesterday. Please head over to the Wine Podcast and sign up if you haven't already. Or just search for Anna and Al's Big Portuguese Wine Adventure wherever you get your podcasts. You remember our friend John Rourke from my last dispatch, the Scottish strimmer and cork floor fitting fiend who dragged his pal Tony over to cork-click floor our mezzanines. John said he'd be back to finish the job after a short trip home, but decided to have a heart attack in Scotland instead. I mean, as far as excuses go, that's a pretty good one. Thankfully, he was just 10 minutes away from Glasgow Hospital, and out a few days later, struggling more with the regime of enforced rest than anything else. Wishing you a speedy recovery, John. All that strimming made him as fit as a butcher's dog, which should help the recovery. And in terms of places to keel over, I'd certainly choose Glasgow over the hills of Alentejo for speedier emergency care, rather than the scenery. Most items on our post-it wall of ambition are proving stubborn to shift, but my old university pal Hugh Jennings was also on hand this week to help us make some impact. Finish the cork floors was high up on the running order, but Tony insisted on coming back and giving us a masterclass in click floor installation as we fussed around him trying to help. Hugh and I moved a lot of heavy things around, unpacked the entire restaurant kitchen, assembled furniture and conquered a lingering gutter which has been staring at me for weeks, begging to be installed, just in time for the coming drought. And we certainly couldn't have prepped our sardines and wine tasting day without him. Thanks very much indeed, Hugh, for coming. Do come again soon. I dropped Hugh off at Faro Airport and picked up another old friend, Kieran, for the return trip. Our Algarve adventures always involved big shops and pickups, and after negotiating Cassie the Hilux and a trailer through the narrow streets of Faro, Kieran was treated to Leroy Merlin DIY store twice, Macro, a large metal factory, and although spared IKEA, was dragged to the irrigation pipe place. The sudden arrival of summer means all the trees we've planted need regular watering, all 300 of them. The irrigation pump failed last year, and so we've upgraded to a submersible pump for the lake to feed the citrus and the olives down the hill and up on the top of the hill. This requires 500 metres of pipe, scores of fiddly drippers to install, and the construction of a small island out of wood and plastic barrels to support and power the pump in the lake. Then there's Anna and Oda's dresser redecoration job to finish, ceiling material for the concrete floors to buy and to spread, skirting boards to install, more interiors to order, bills to pay, accounting to put off, and that's just today. It really has been one of those times when a week feels like a month, when there's not enough time in the day or space in my brain. There's not even enough space to cram it all into one dispatch, but I will keep trying. Oda, Anna, Kieran and I did all enjoy a night away at the stunning Troia Design Hotel on the sliver of Alentejo that points at the Setúbal Peninsula, just south of Lisbon. It was work rather than play, as I'd been asked to do a couple of turns at a conference known as the Sleeper Sessions, a high-end networking event for top hotels and international designers and suppliers. Matt Turner, editor-in-chief of Sleeper Media, which publishes the influential Sleeper magazine, among others, invited me to run a couple of their sustenance sessions, after hearing the radio pieces I did for the BBC on off-grid living, which you can listen to through links on our website. It involved hosting a tasting and talk about Portuguese and Alentejo wines, some background on the kind of madness required to build an off-grid eco-lux lodge with no prior experience, and stories from my previous war reporting life. It was great fun. Thanks to Matt and to moderator Guy Dittrich for the invite, and for giving me the chance to meet so many real hotel and design people. Hopefully, some of them might even come and stay. It also inspires me that perhaps the wine tasting, live storytelling part of our business plan might just work. Thanks again for listening. Tune in next time and hopefully we'll be one step closer to getting this project done. Bye for now.